Ratio is a comparison of two different quantities. We can compare the number of students in a classroom to the number of teachers. We can compare the number of chairs in a room to the number of tables. We can compare the number of windows to the number of doors in a house. As long as we're comparing two different quantities, we can use ratio to express or demonstrate that comparison. Ratio is expressed in three main ways. It can be expressed using the word to, it can be expressed as a fraction, and it can be expressed using a colon. For our purposes, let's consider an example of a classroom where for every 45 students, there are 5 teachers. Now we are comparing the number of students to number of teachers. So for example, if I wanted to show this comparison using the word to, I would write 45 to 5. I can express this comparison also as a fraction, 45 over 5. Now you must have noticed that it says simplified here. All ratios should be expressed as a simplified form. That is especially true when demonstrating a ratio using fractions. Therefore, instead of leaving 45 over 5 as it is, we should simplify it to 9 to 1. Lastly, a ratio can also be expressed using a colon. So we would write 45 colon 5. It is important to note that while dealing with ratios, order matters. What does that mean? That means instead of saying 45 students to 5 teachers, if I said there are 5 teachers for every 45 student, if I had to express this ratio, instead of writing 45 to 5, I would write 5 to 45. Because whenever we're dealing with ratio, whatever quantity is expressed or named first, that number should be in the beginning. So here our ratio would change from 45 to 5 to 5 over 45, and once that's simplified, it would be 1 over 9. And again, if you're expressing it as a colon, it would be 5 colon 45. Now it is worth noting that anytime we deal with ratios, it's in our best interest to simplify it. Now, when we simplify it, it also has some additional information that we can deduce. In our example, we were told that for every 45 students, there are 5 teachers, or for 5 teachers, there are 45 students. Now, the moment we simplify it, and we get 1 to 9. That gives us another layer of information. It tells us that for every 1 teacher, there are 9 students. Or if we were working with a ratio where the student came first, that for every 9 students, there is 1 teacher. Let's consider this example where a food vendor knows that for every person attending the event will consume 3 hot dogs. Therefore, per person, he or she will need 3 hot dogs. So what if there is an event where they're expected to have 55,000 people attending? So going at the rate of 3 hot dogs, how many hot dogs should this vendor order? Well, let's consider this piece of information. Per person, they will need 3 hot dogs. So here we have a ratio of 1 person to 3 hot dogs. Remember, this same ratio can be expressed using a fraction or using colon. All 3 are accurate ways of describing this first ratio. Per person will consume 3 hot dogs. Now then the question is, well, what if you have 55,000 people? So let's start setting up a proportion. The two ratios that we are comparing is, well, the first ratio is 1 to 3, where 1 is the number of people and 3 is the hot dog. Now, in the second ratio, we know that there is 55,000 people, but we don't know how many hot dogs should there be. Notice that when we're setting up the proportions, we are keeping the order the same in both ratios, meaning the first number is for the people, 55,000 people, 1 person. And then the second quantity is that of the hot dogs. Now, as we are setting up the proportion, this is what our proportion would look like. 1 to 3 is equal to 55,000 to, we can call it x, x being the unknown number of hot dogs. Now, anytime you're setting up a proportion, you should always set it up as a fraction. So we have 55,000 over x. Now the next step requires us to cross multiply. So we would cross multiply 1 times x, which just gives us x, and 3 times 55,000, which gives us 165,000. That means for 55,000 people, this vendor should order 165,000 hot dogs. Using the same example, now let's consider another scenario. Let's consider the fact that this weekend, this hot dog vendor has exactly 19,045 hot dogs. Now, the question is, if he has 19,045 hot dogs, how many people can he serve? We can look at the same example and interpret it slightly different. In the original example, we said that per person, he needed 3 hot dogs. We can also look at it as 3 hot dogs for 1 person. Now, according to that, the ratio is going to be 3 to 1. But then the question is, if he has 19,045 hot dogs, that will be for how many people? Let's set up a proportion and make these ratios equal to each other in order to find out. The first ratio would be 3 over 1, and the second ratio is going to be 19,045 over our unknown, which is x. Now notice when setting up the proportion, both fractions have the same quantity in their numerator. In both of these fractions, the numerator is the number of hot dogs, and the denominator is the number of people. Now once we set up the proportion correctly, our next step is to cross multiply. When we cross multiply, 3 times x gives us 3x. 19,045 times 1 is 19,045. And once we have this, we solve it like a regular equation. We divide both sides by 3. And whatever this gives us, that's the number of people he can feed using 19,045 hot dogs. So let's do the math. Let's divide 19,045 by 3. 3 goes 6 times into 18. 3 times 3, 9. 3 times 4, 12. 2, and then 5 comes down. 3 times 8, 24. Obviously, we have a remainder of 1. Now, we get x as roughly 6,348. That means if he had 19,045 hot dogs, according to his calculation, he should be able to feed 6,348 people. Not more than that, as long as each person consumes 3 hot dogs. But again, we can use this original ratio to solve for any quantity of hot dogs and the number of people. Let's look at this next example that can further clarify proportions for you. Remember, proportion is a comparison of two ratios where both ratios are set to be equal. So in our case here, a pizzeria needs 9 ounces of cheese for every pie they bake. How many pizza pies can they make if they have 600 ounces of cheese? So the first ratio that we need to determine is that for every pie they bake, so for one pie, they need 9 ounces of cheese. I can also look at the same information as 9 ounces of cheese are needed for each pie. Does it matter which one we use? No. As long as we keep things uniform, it shouldn't matter which ratio we start off with. And you will see what I mean by keeping things uniform. So our question is, well, if they can make one pie using 9 ounces of cheese and they have 600 ounces of cheese, how many pies can they make? So the second ratio is for 600 ounces of cheese, but the question is, how many pies can they make? Now the same information here can be written as well. If you have 600 ounces of cheese, how many pies can you bake? So both of these can be calculated using proportion. Well, here is my ratio number 1 and here is my ratio number 2. And let's set these two ratios in proportion. 1 over 9, 1 pie to 9 ounces, is equal to, we'll call this x over 600. Now, while we're setting up the proportion, notice how in both of these fractions, the ratio represents the number of pies or the unknown number of pies, and then the denominator represents the ounces of cheese, 9 ounces and 600 ounces. Therefore, when we set up the proportion here, it should look something like this. 9 over 1 is equal to 600 over unknown. 9 over 1, because remember, this ratio can also be expressed as this as a fraction, and this would be expressed as 600 over x as a fraction. So again, in this proportion, although it looks different from this one, essentially we're keeping things uniform because we're making sure that both denominators and numerators are of the same quantity, meaning 9 ounces of cheese, 600 ounces of cheese. One pie that you can bake, x, is the unknown number of pies. After this, the step becomes pretty straightforward. We cross multiply, so we get 9x is equal to 600. And notice how if we cross multiply here as well, we get 9x is equal to 600. So the only thing that's left to do is divide both sides by 9 and determine how many pies can be baked. So we're going to divide 600 by 9. 9 doesn't fit into 6. 9 does fit into 60. 9 fits 6 times into 60, 54. We subtract, we get 6, we get 0. 54, we get another 0. Basically, 66 and 6 over 9. Or, if you were to round this off, this comes out to 67. If we round it up to the nearest whole number. If you round it down, it would be 66. But the point is that if this pizzeria has 600 ounces of cheese, it can bake roughly 66 pies or 67. Now technically they would be able to bake only 66 pies because there is something you need to understand, that the 600 ounces of pizza can help them make 66 whole pizza and then 6 over 9 of another pizza, or basically 2/3 of another pizza. But because we deal with pizzas in whole, the maximum number of full pies they can bake will be 66.
Please make sure you hit the like button if you learned something new today. And if there were any ways to improve the video or the explanation, feel free to leave it in the comment. Thank you.